Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a sun-drenched forest, there lived a tiny ant named Anna. Unlike her fellow ants who were content with their simple lives carrying crumbs and seeds, Anna had dreams that soared beyond the anthill. One evening, as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the field, the animals gathered for their nightly storytelling. A wise old grasshopper began to play a tune on his flute, and as the melody filled the air, the animals settled down to listen. Suddenly, a brilliant streak of light flashed across the sky, leaving behind a faint trail. "Oh, look!" exclaimed a young field mouse, squeaking with delight. "A shooting star!" All the animals looked up, their eyes wide with wonder. "I'm going to find that star and bring it home," said Anna, her voice filled with determination. The other animals chuckled, for they knew how tiny Anna was and how vast the world beyond their field seemed. You're an ant," said the grasshopper, shaking his head. "It's probably in another world. You couldn't possibly hope to reach it." "Maybe not," replied Anna, her gaze fixed on the spot where the shooting star had vanished. "But I'll walk there one step at a time." And with that, she set off into the darkening field, her little legs carrying her as fast as they could. The other animals watched her go, their amusement fading into surprise as they saw how steadily she moved forward. Determined to help, a friendly firefly offered to light her way. "Thank you," said Anna, and so the firefly flew ahead, lighting the path for the tiny ant. As the night wore on, Anna climbed over pebbles as big as mountains, swam through streams that seemed like raging rivers, and braved the wind that threatened to blow her away. Finally, just as the first rays of sunlight peeked over the horizon, she saw it. There in the distance, sparkling faintly, was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. It was a shooting star, or at least a piece of it. With a final burst of strength, Anna reached out and touched it with her antenna. In that instant, the shard of the star glowed brighter than ever before, and Anna knew she had found something truly magical. Carefully, she began the journey back, the glowing shard held tightly in her grasp. When the other animals saw what she had found, they gasped in amazement. The field mouse squeaked with delight, and even the wise old grasshopper was stunned. Finally, when they reached the anthill, Anna placed the shard on top of the nearest hill. It glowed brightly, bathing the whole field in its soft, magical light. The animals crowded around, their faces lit up with wonder. "You really did it," said the grasshopper, his voice filled with awe. "I couldn't have done it without you," replied Anna, smiling. Then, as if it had heard her words, the glow from the shard intensified, spreading to the entire field like wildfire. For a moment, the forest was filled with the most beautiful light they had ever seen. And that is how the tiny ant, Anna, showed everyone that even the smallest creature can achieve extraordinary things. Her courage and determination inspired the other animals, and they all lived happily ever after. The end.